All right, welcome to day 3 or part 3 of the phone stand project, where we're going to be doing a full 3D extrusion of our sketch. And then we're going to be making a few changes. One of the things I'm going to be doing is adding a cut here in the middle of this phone shelf to compensate for a charging cable, as I do have the room here for it. If you did not want to do that, you don't have to do that part of the video. That'll be the second part. And then the last part will be to add some features to this to kind of just clean it up and make it look pretty cool. All right, so let's go ahead and open our sketch first. And go to Edit Sketch. Looks good. All my measurements are correct. Everything looks fine. I'm going to go to my Features tab now. I'm going to hit Extruded Boss Base. Now, the first section of this tab right here, all these boss bases and all this stuff, this is adding material. All this stuff here is removing material. Obviously, we can't remove material if we hadn't added anything yet. And even that, we've only got 3 choices instead of 5. And over here, we're going to be manipulating material once it's actually out there. And then the last few sections is just some extra stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to Extruded Boss Base, which is just a straight shoot out there. Normally, it starts off with blind. Don't know why it went to mid-plane. I guess because I was messing with it earlier. So this is what you typically would have. You'd have a blind direction, which is coming straight out towards you. And then typically it's going to be at 10 millimeters. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move that to 45 millimeters. And there's the stand right there. Now I can go ahead and do a whole lot of different things and go ahead and close this and start working. But then I have to deal with trying to come up with a cut. I'm going to make my life a little easier by going to mid-plane. So I'm going to put my sketch right in the middle of the extrusion. And once I'm done, I click the green button. That's all there is to it. And that is the full extrusion right there. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so now what I need to do is think about the cut. So this is the part, if you don't want to add this to your shelf, go ahead and fast forward. And I also would recommend that you pause and start the video over and over again as you go through this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and choose front plane. Open a sketch because I'm going to have to come up with a sketch. Click normal. I had to add that button. Yours probably will go ahead and go normal anyway. So there's a couple of different things I can do. I can use reference geometry to pull the lines out. I can also just use a simple sketch. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to do this. I'll zoom in on the shelf. I want to outline the entire shelf. Now I'm going to go ahead and come up here and do the same thing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go to select. Doesn't look like it's there, but it is. You can see the black lines there. I'm going to go ahead and go to features. I'm going to go to extruded cut. And there is the cut. Now that's a little bit too much. You're like, wow, that's a lot, sir. Okay, well, I want 15 millimeters. I'm thinking, well, why 15? Well, 45 divided by 3 is 15. And you can see that it's right there in the middle. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm doing a mid-plane direction 1 cut at 15 millimeters wide, and it has now cut it out for me. So look at that again. Mid-plane, 15 millimeters, and there's your cut. There it is. Thinking, oh, that's cool. Yep. Okay, now we'll go ahead and just click the save button real quick just to make sure I've got everything. Now, lots of angles, lots of sharp corners. Let's go ahead and do some cleanup here. We have a few buttons up here that we can mess with in the Features tab. One of them is called Fillet, and as you can see, the fillet is a rounded corner. So I'm going to go ahead and click Fillet. And I'm going to go ahead and go to 5 millimeters. Why 5? I don't know. It's something kind of random. I'm going to get these major corners, this one here. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I got a full preview. I can see what's going on. There we go. And yeah, you can do it from that side. It's a little small, so I'm going to bump it back up to 10 millimeters. That's much better. Okay, so that's my 10 millimeter fillet. I'm going to try it right here just to see if it'll do it. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Clear, delete, there. Okay, once I do that, green check. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to fillet, and this time I'm gonna go 5 for sure. And what I'm gonna do is come over here. Let's see if that looks okay. Yeah, that looks okay. If I don't like the look, I can go ahead and clear it, or I can just maybe change the radius. That's better. I like 3. That'll work. Okay, so that's 3 millimeters. And then why'd you select 3? I just liked it better than 5. Okay, and I'm gonna do one more at 1 millimeter. I'm gonna zoom way out and select the whole thing. This will take a minute. Just finding all the different edges. And these, see we have all, since I'm on full preview, I've got all these yellow lines. We are good. Click. And that's it. That is the finished phone stand project. Again, you don't have to do this cut right here, but you do need to do some of the fillets. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save this. Haven't really talked too much about file types. This is called an SLD PRT file. If I go to File and Save As, you will see that. SLD PRT, SolidWorks Parts File. Now what this allows me to do, I've got it in a thumb drive right now. What this allows me to do is I can go in here and edit this thing anytime I want, make changes, do whatever I want to do. The file that I want you to send me is called STL. You're thinking, well, how do I make an STL file? I'm glad you asked that question. You're going to use the same file name, which is right here. You're going to drop down here where it says Save as File Type, and you're going to click. They are in alphabetical order. You come down here, and that's the one I want. STL is a finished file type. Save it to the same location as my main file, and it does that. Yes. And then sometimes it gives you the OK. You need to do the OK as well. All right. Now let me show you what that looks like. Okay, let me see here. That's going to be over here. This is the STL file. Completely different icon, different file type. Now, if I lose my SLD PRT file, people think, oh, I can just take the STL, load it, and then manipulate that. Nope, can't do that. Okay, let's go ahead and open with 3D Viewer. Pull my 3D Viewer over here. And by the way, you have these files, you have these apps as well, so just do what I just did. And there it is. That is the completed phone stand. Okay, so what you are going to do is that you are going to email this to me by the end of the class period on Friday. That's all I've got for you. If you have any questions, let me know. Remember, I'm going to be out on Friday, the 10th. I'll be back on Monday.